I frequently get questions about the pain body. What is the pain body? Where it's coming from? How it affects us? How to release it? How to get free of the emotional pain that it creates? So the idea is to create few videos and answer all these questions because the pain body is always present in us. It's very strong in our culture and it affects us in many ways. It affects us emotionally in the way we see ourselves, in the way we treat other people. It affects our relationships big time. It also affects us professionally, how we choose professions, how we handle working with other people, how we handle conflict, how we communicate. It also affects us physically. It creates many physical problems for us. So why this is such an important subject for us? Because we are emotional beings. We are not just thinking beings. Even though culturally we were told for centuries that thinking is more important than feeling, that actually feelings a sign of weakness, is a sign of we are limited, that we don't have any control. Feeling is a bad thing and thinking is a good thing. The truth of the matter is that we are both. We are thinking and we're feeling beings. And to create conflict over this is like saying that daylight is better than the night. Both are important. The day cannot exist without the night, and the night cannot exist without the day. Feelings and thinking work together, are our yin-yang, and we need them both. We need to expand our rational and logical qualities, and we also need to grow and expand our emotional intelligence. And this is the piece that is missing in our culture. And that's the reason why we create huge pain bodies. So what is the pain body? Well, the pain body is a name that was created more than 100 years ago in Germany, and Eckhart Tolle brought it back in the 2000 in his book, The Power of Now, that probably some of you have read it, and if you haven't, please read it because it's a wonderful book about how to learn to be present. So Eckhart Tolle describes the pain body as an entity in us that is always looking for drama, always looking for conflict and confrontation, that feeds our mind with negative judgment and feeds on negativity basically, and is looking for the negativity of others to grow and expand itself. There are many ways to describe the pain body, but basically is our emotional body in contraction, an energy field of emotional negativity in us that creates anxiety, depression, anger, sadness, grief, physical pain, shame, guilt. And to understand the pain body, we need to understand how our emotional system works. Our emotional system is not like our mental system, our thinking system. Our thinking system works based on duality, polarity, comparison, opposites, like good or bad, heat and cold, strong and weak. And using this process of opposite thinking and comparison, we find answers to many problems that we might have. And that's the way we make decisions since the very moment we wake up in the morning, and we choose what is good and what is not good for us. The emotional system is not like that. The emotional system in us is designed to feel. There are no bad feelings or good feelings for the emotional system. There is just feelings. And we feel based on our needs. If our needs are being met, we feel expansion. If our needs are not being met, we feel contraction. Anger, fear, sadness, they are contractive feelings. We feel actually the contraction in our bodies. We feel the contraction in our throat, in our chest, in our bellies, in our heads. When we get angry, we get contracted and we scream and we get red and our eyes pop out. When we are afraid, we pretty much contract. We feel sometimes that we want to be invisible or disappear. Also happens with shame, with guilt. When we feel free, when we feel joy, when we feel happiness, we feel expanded. And we want to share with others that expansion. And all this is natural. We feel contraction, we feel expansion. This is like day and night. It is okay to have contraction and expansion. Life is based on contraction and expansion. Just look at your lungs. Yeah, the diaphragm is contracting and expanding, therefore we inhale and we exhale. Just check on your heart. Yeah, it's contracting and expanding the whole time. How a baby gets born, through contraction and expansion of the uterus. Yeah? So contraction and expansion give us life and keep us alive. Our muscles also contract and expand, and in that way we move around, we dance, we run, we walk. Without contraction and expansion of our muscles, we couldn't move. So contraction and expansion is part of the main design of human life. The same happens in our emotional body. We need to contract and expand. That is our radar, that is our guidance system. Without emotional contraction, we wouldn't know that something that is happening is something that I don't like or is dangerous or risky for me. And without emotional expansion, we wouldn't know that what is happening is good for me and I want more of that. So when our needs are being met, we feel good. And when our needs are not being met, we don't feel good. We feel uncomfortable. Because we are naturally designed to move from expansion to contraction like a baby does. Just check out a baby, how they react and how quick they can move from a place of joy and happiness and play to feeling frustrated and irritated and angry, and from there they move to joy and happiness again. Very quick expansion and contraction. So I was designed like that, you've been designed like that, every human being, we all have been babies. We know how to move easily from contraction to expansion. But because culturally we were told that feeling contraction or feeling negative emotions is a bad thing, then we had demonized negative feelings. We had demonized contraction, like there is something wrong with us if we feel contracted. Then what do? We avoid feeling negativity. In what way? Suppressing them. It's not that we don't feel negative. We feel angry, we feel afraid, but we act or we pretend that we don't. So someone asks me, how are you doing? And I say, I'm fine. But you don't look fine. Yes, I'm okay, I'm fine. So we put a smile when we are sad, when we are angry, when we feel uncomfortable, when we actually are suffering inside. We feel really ugly inside, but we act as if nothing happens. And this is probably the main wound that we have as a society, culturally, is the wound to our authenticity. We have learned to pretend, and we have created a false persona in us that I call it the impostor in us. So we have a mask to go to work, we have a mask when we come back home, we wear another mask when we meet with our friends, we have another mask, You get the idea. And that is a lot of work. And that is what creates the pain body. Not being authentic, not flowing with life, fighting the natural flow of contraction and expansion, resisting, and we accumulate, we suppress, and negative emotions get stored in us in layers. And those layers of contractions reach a point sometimes that is unbearable. And then we accumulate, let's say, anger, and then we have an angry pain body that overreacts with frustration, chronic irritability, burst of anger, pushes people away. As you can imagine, this affects our relationships, personal relationships or work relationships. If we have a fear pain body, we have been accumulating fear. Yeah, that was my case. As a child, I suffered a lot of physical abuse, and I was terrorized as a kid. Therefore, I learned to accumulate fear. And when we accumulate fear, of course, we feel very insecure and we feel very anxious. It's very easy to be afraid of anything or anyone. We become very shy, we hide, and that of course affects our relationships, the way we show up in life, the way we choose our profession, the way we choose our partners, etc. So to stop wrapping it up this video, and I'm gonna make other videos about the pain body from different angles. To start wrapping it up, the pain body is an energy field of pain, discomfort, negativity in us that when it becomes too big, when the accumulation of contractions is too big, is when we get sick physically or emotionally. And a lot of mental illness is being aggravated because of the pain body. It is vital to release the pain body. We're going to feel more at peace, more free to make mistakes, more creative, more loving. We're going to feel more connected to the people that we choose to be connected. We're going to recover the energy and vitality that we used to have when we were younger. We're going to enjoy life in general. We're going to feel a sense of purpose, clarity about who I am, what I'm doing here, what I'm here for. And having clarity and a sense of purpose aligns us, focuses us. It gives us a sense of belonging, that we matter, that we are part of. And that's a feeling that many people are looking for. I was looking for that when I was younger, before I did all my process of healing and releasing my own pain body. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and follow me. I'm going to keep creating videos like this about the pain body, about emotional healing, and how to live a healthy, joyful life.